welcome to Dialog TVS Plus. As always, I'm your host, Razi Ahmad.
And of course with me, Shosh Mato. And today, Razi, in Dialog TVS Plus, we're diving into a very important topic that affects not only Sarawak's economy, but also its long-term future on how the recently announced 2025 Sarawak Budget will shape the state's business development and, of course, investment landscape, Razi.
And to help us break down what Sarawak Budget 2025 means for the business environment and landscape, and for also its investors, together with us on the set here, we have Haji Ismail Sahari, the Executive Director of ElectroSurf, and also Ahmad Faisal Sulaiman, the Group Managing Director of Amanah Raya Berhad. Welcome to TVS and thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you.
First of all, Haji Ismail, I want to start with you. The 2025 Sarawak budget has set aside 10.9 billion ringgit for development expenditure, especially in rural infrastructure, utilities and digital connectivity. These investments are aimed at attracting both domestic and international investors. With this budget in mind, Haji Ismail, what do you think, how do you assess the future investment opportunities in Sarawak?
Okay, assessing the investment opportunity availability in Sarawak, it is a very much welcome opportunity for the private companies here already in Sarawak. Our opportunities are especially what we are looking for are the electrical side, the mechanical services, specifically on the oil and gas sector, but not related to only oil and gas, but also the digitalization and also the green economy. ElectroSurf per se is currently focused on enhancing our further presence in Sarawak through our current center in Bintulu, our facility where we do the electrical and mechanical services here in Bintulu. We are trying to have it. We are building a new, bigger facility nearby in Kidurong industrial area. With that facility, we think that we will be able to provide a better, more comprehensive services to the. One thing is the oil and gas facility for now, but we are going into the tenaga as well, electrical and so forth. And also, ElectroSurf is also looking with that facility. We are using SME Bank as our main partner to do the financing and so on. ElectroSurf is also looking at the digitalizing our process in our operation. We are currently using MIDA's grant to have a bit more. To look into the. To digitalizing our processes, and also we are also investment in the higher diagnostic and also testing technologies that are also another area that ElectroSurf is currently focusing on currently.
All right, Haji, and of course you've pointed out that of course with the resources that we have, you pointed out a few digital transformation as well, and of course to Mr. Ahmad. I mean, lamenting on this, as we know earlier. With Sarawak's vast digital transformation that we have, the Sarawak budget has been based on its focus on sustainability, digital transformation, and of course, its industrial growth. I mean, in your opinion, following up on what Haji has explained as well, what are the main aspects of this budget, or the positive aspects of this budget that stand out as game changers for Sarawak in years to come?
Well, I think given that this was the first time I'm hearing a Sarawak budget conference, I think this is the first time that a state budget is being discussed openly in an open forum. So I think that that creates dynamism in the budget, which is something that we are seeing for the first time. And thanks to the organizers like Salhin and Scope and Sarawak Leadership Conference, they've taken the initiative to implement this. The other thing I can see is that the budget, the Sarawak budget, is very futuristic. It considers alternative energies to come, years to come, like hydrogen and solar electricity, with considering these items now. And the final thing which I find is very good about the budget is the push or the emphasis towards financial inclusion. Because as with any nation, the growth in the economy cannot go on its own without the accompanied financial literacy growth as well. Which is why Amanah Raya, we are set to reap the opportunities of the economic growth in Sarawak. As the economy grows, so does the financial literacy grows, that's where Amnari comes in to ensure the economy is preserved for the future generations.
I see.
Very
Well
interesting.
said.
I would like to pose this question for the both of you, so both of you can take it up. You have highlighted some great insights into the state's growth in terms of economic and development. From a business perspective, what do you think companies can expect from the state government to foster a more conducive environment for business growth in Sarawak?
In ElectroServe per se, so for the Sarawak development agenda, as a principle, within ElectroServe itself, we are very much would like to be involved in the bigger agenda of Sarawak development initiative. Within the greater agenda of the digitalization of the state, ElectroServe would like to position ourselves in services such as the machine-to-machine communication, providing real-time input for fast productivity, and also in terms of human resources, we are currently deploying TVET as one of our tools to ensure that we have a sufficient amount of human resource coming into the industry to provide all the necessary human resource that the industry itself can continue to rely upon, not only today but also in the future.
All right. And what about what's your take, Mr. Ahmad?
One of the main things that Amnaraya we have seen is the increased regulatory support. As it is, Amnaraya, we are having high-level discussions with Sarawak legislative officers to ease the administrative process of estate administration in Sarawak. I think businesses can also expect a lot of better access to funding. I think in the budget we have talked about many other forms of how SME bank will assist entrepreneurs, and not only in terms of financing, but businesses can expect aid in terms of training. Yesterday we heard a lot of entrepreneur training that will be launched under the budget. So I think these are all the good things that the business can expect from the government.
I see.
Right. This question is for you, Dr. Wan Ahmad. With Sarawak's economy growing at a very considerable pace, investment portfolios in the region is becoming more diverse. I take it you agree with that. So how do you foresee investment portfolios evolving in Sarawak market over the next few years? And what key sectors do you think will attract the most attention in Sarawak?
Well, I think echoing after what Haji Ismail said, I think it's obvious that you will see an emphasis on the ESG, on the sustainability sector. Energy is probably the main sector per se, but I think it's energy and sustainable energy sector per se will be the main investment driver, and that be followed by other emerging sectors, because you hear a lot of there's creation of new revenue streams. You heard about the revenue trade to Japan, Korea, and China of methanol, so there'll be investments in these areas as well. Apart from that, we hear a lot of urbanization of rural areas, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of investment in infrastructure, ports and airports. So yeah, infrastructure investments. Yeah.
And Haji as well, I mean, you have been in the oil and gas industry, I mean, for decades also as well. In your opinion, seeming that Sarawak is thriving into emerging new sectors, and definitely Sarawakians and the talent development is growing at its state with the human capital, being ready in the industry. In your opinion, I mean, in light of the Sarawak Budget 2025, with more initiatives coming in, I mean, what are the new key sectors, apart from all these initiatives coming in towards PCDS 2030 that you think needs also emphasis in years to come?
I think like Haji is saying, our emphasis here in Sarawak is still energy. We are very fortunate that because the energy industry start off in Sarawak for the whole of Malaysia. So what we have in the country is a lot of experienced people who already already have the knowledge available to do the oil and gas services.
Yeah.
Oil and gas know-how are all there. So it's just a matter of taking the current knowledge of the older generation like ourselves to the new generation. So that's why we are thinking that this human transport of knowledge from one group or set of people to the next set of people, to the new younger generation is critical. And we are very much happy that even the federal government, or even in Sarawak state, you have the school skill or something. So and in the federal government, we have the Tibet thing, which we are trying to deploy and see how we can truly implement the whole thing inside the industry per se.
Correct.
It is a commitment the industry have to take in together with the government as well.
I agree on the commitment of the industry as well, and also in TVET as well. But yes, we know that the state is actually having its free education policy soon enough for TVET students as well. I mean, lamenting at this for Mr. Ahmad. I mean, Ahmad Raya is known, to cover big portfolios over the years. I mean, what do you think that companies also expect from the Sarawak government to foster a more conducive environment?
I think there will be a lot of emphasis on talent development, as echo what Haji Ismail is saying. I think the budget this year was asking a lot of questions on how do we improve the human resource and the talent development that is already available in Sarawak. And we hear a lot of different ideas. For example, we heard yesterday Tan Sri Hamidi was saying that if he had the allocation for the education, he would emphasize this amount for the kindergartens, right? So I think that's something positive, that we question how we spend our expenses, although the direction is towards talent development, and we can see a lot of improvement on that. But I think the good thing is we're asking how we can do it better and how these funds can be channeled more efficiently.
So there it is, Cheryl. Some great insights into the impacts on the business opportunities and investments from the Sarawak Budget 2025. Once again, we want to thank our guests here today, which is Haji Ismail Sahari, the Executive Director at ElectroServe, and also Ahmad Faisal Sulaiman, the Group Managing Director of Amanah Raya Berhad. Thank you for joining us for today.
Thank you.
Yep. And with that, I'm Razi Ahmad.
And I'm Cheryl. Sorry. And I'm Cheryl Shamato. Till next time.
Thank you for watching Dialog TVS. We'll see you next time.